up? It's Grace, and right now I'm going to be talking about the books I've started but haven't finished. I don't like doing this just because leaving a book unfinished, even if I don't like it, like, what if I were to like it if I just kept reading it? There's always that nagging feeling in my head. So I don't like starting a book and not finishing it, but there are quite a few books that I've done this with. Now, this does not mean that I'm not gonna finish it, and it doesn't mean these books were bad. Some of them I wasn't feeling, but some of them I maybe wasn't in the mood for, and others I think I just stopped because a new release came out, and sometimes those take precedence over everything. So yes, let's get on with the books I've started but haven't finished. Doesn't mean I won't finish them. I still got, if I guesstimate, I live 100 years and I'm 19. It gives me, like, hold on, math, 81 years to finish these. So I'm good on time, so let's talk about them. The first book I'm going to talk about, I picked it up around this time last year because I remember reading it on the plane to BookCon and back to BookCon. And then I got home and life, and I unpacked, and I guess I forgot about it. I had it in my October TBR pile, like I wanted to read it during October, but I didn't do that. But that was a busy month. Anyway, the book I'm talking about is Unspoken by Sarah Rees Brennan. It's still in my currently reading thing on Goodreads, and I am 152 pages in, and I was loving this book. It had the female in this, the main character. She was so spunky and smart and witty without being, you know, like, annoying. She just was great, and I remember it was like spooky, so great for October, and it kind of gave me a little bit of a Coraline vibe, just the atmosphere of it, because she lives in this little town that's like this little English town. I think Coraline is in Oregon, but this, you know, like a mystery feeling, I guess. Anyway, I was really enjoying it. I know I'll finish this book. I'll probably pick it up maybe next October, maybe soon. Who knows? Life is weird. Next book I'm going to talk about, I've literally mentioned from like day one of my channel that I have started this book several times and haven't finished it, so I'm just going to hold it up and let you guys, you know. The next book I've started but haven't finished is the second book in the Girl of Fire and Thorns trilogy, and that is Crown of Embers, or The Crown of Embers by Rachel. Oh wait, not Rachel Hawkins, she blurbed that, by Rae Carson. And I am 68 pages into this. I was enjoying it because I remember I picked it up for Slay That Series, and I just don't know why I stopped reading it, but I did. And I'll eventually pick it back up. I will. The next book I've started but haven't finished is The Ruby Circle by Richelle Mead. I'm only 37 pages into this book. And I picked it up again for the Slay That Series readathon, and I wasn't feeling this book, which is sucky because it's the last book in the Bloodline series, and I think the problem is, you know, I didn't enjoy Soundless by Richelle Mead, and also another book that's in the books I've started but haven't finished is The Glittering Court by Richelle Mead, and I'm only 34 pages in, but I was just, like, usually with her books, like the Vampire Academy series and the previous books in the Bloodlines, I just am automatically sucked in. Like, I don't need to try, you know, force myself to read. But with these two books, I was, like, forcing myself to read, and I was only 36 pages into this one and 34 pages into this one. And I got this one for review, so I really, really need to read this one. Hopefully it gets better. I've heard iffy reviews, but nonetheless, I will be completing these two books, hopefully soon. The next book I've started but haven't finished, I started this before my BookTube channel, and I got 116 pages in, and that's The Wizard's Curse by Cassandra Rose Clark. This is one of my favorite covers of a book I've ever seen. It's so gorgeous. This has to do with, like, pirates. It was really unique. I remember the magic, and there was like a mermaid or something. It's kind of blurry. I'd have to restart this book because I read it like 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, something like that. And I stopped reading, oh yeah, I remember I stopped reading this because I picked up Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, and that book just sucked me in immediately. This one was slower. But I think I want to start this book again and have, like, kind of a fresh mind because I don't really remember a lot except there was a ship and magic and a mermaid, I think. The next book I've started but haven't finished is Hidden Huntress by Danielle L. Jensen, which is the second book in the Stolen Songbird trilogy. Maybe that's what it's called. It has to deal with trolls. I really enjoyed the first book. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. And I got up to page 58. Oh my gosh, I dog-eared this page. Who am I? But I got up to page 58. I barely even remember picking this up. Honestly, I'll probably have to start it again. But I don't know why I stopped. Was I enjoying it? I obviously wasn't that into it, but I really, really want to see where the story goes, and I am going to be completing this trilogy, so gotta get to that. The next book I started but haven't finished is November 9 by Colleen Hoover. I've talked about this one a couple times, and I'm on page 64. I just wasn't feeling this book really at all. It's just like, it wasn't sitting well with me. I didn't really like the characters, and it was just a little like off. So I am going to read it so I could, see what I fully think about it. But I've heard iffy reviews on this book, and oops, it's ripping. But I love Colleen Hoover, so I really, really hope that I do love this. Next book here is The Demon King by Cinda Williams Chima. I got to page 136 in this, and the reason why I stopped reading this was because I was really busy, and I was reading this super, super slow, and when I tend to read books really slow, I'm not that invested in it, and I don't really care all too much. But I remember enjoying it, and I will definitely finish this because I've heard so many great things about the series. And I love the feel of this book. It's like heavy and just great quality book. Anyway, that's besides the point. I've heard amazing things, and I really do need to finish this book. Next book I have here is, I always say Dustlands. I think that's a series name, but it's Blood Red Road by Moira Young. And this is a dystopian book, and I got to page, let's see. I got to page 115 of this book, and I remember it being really interesting and stuff, but the writing, and I know I really, really like this writing just because it's really unique and different. It just doesn't flow. It's hard to read sometimes because words are spelt wrong on purpose, and it's unique, and I think that's a really cool thing that she did. But I just really have to be in the mood to read this. So once I'm in the mood, I will pick it up. Next book that I have here is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is a very popular book on BookTube, and I got to page 196, and I read this back in December, I think. And I wasn't not enjoying it, I just don't think I was enjoying it as much as everyone else was. And I was really busy, so I couldn't really get too invested in it. Really am so interested about how this book is formatted. I think this whole thing, and I just want to know more about how they, how this process came to be and how they figured out how to do a book like this. I think it's so interesting. But what I'm nervous about is just like, although I think the whole formatting is interesting, but maybe I won't like it as a book, if that makes any sense. But I wasn't not enjoying it. Again, I just wasn't that into it. Like, I didn't care too much. I think that this book, the humor is so good because it's my type of humor, and I was actually like out loud laughing, which I absolutely love. So I really, really hope that I do enjoy this. A lot of people say that it's really slow for the first half, but the second half is just like you cannot stop reading. So I'm really hoping that is the case for me. Yeah. And the last book I have here is Slasher Girls and Monster Boys, written by a whole bunch of authors. And this is a book compiled of a bunch of thriller horror stories, and I was really, really enjoying it. I got halfway through, and this, like, I have to be really in the mood to read something creepy. Although I love anything creepy, I just really got to be in the mood for it. So whenever that time comes, usually it's in like September, October, I'll pick it up, but I might pick it up, next week. It just depends on my mood. I'm very much of a mood reader. So yes, I was really, really enjoying this. My favorite one, it was the Alice in Wonderland like inspired one. So yeah. Those are all the books that I've started but haven't finished, and if you've read any of these and you think they're amazing and you need me to start them, say girl, stop what you're doing and start them because they're great. And I might. I just gotta get that push. Anyway, if you want to tell me any of the books that you've started but haven't finished, I would love to know, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one.